So, the fall risk in senior citizens is an extremely important subject. There is about 60 million senior citizens out of 300 million population in the United States. Senior citizens being defined as above the age of 65. Out of 60 million senior citizens, 15 million senior citizens fall every year. That is a very dangerously high number. 1 out of 4 senior citizens will fall at some time in their life above the age of 65. As we get older, the risk, the incidence of falls become higher and higher. Out of 14, 15 million senior citizens that fall, 3 million go to the emergency room every year. Out of 3 million emergency room visits, 1 million get admitted to the hospital every year. Staggering numbers. Out of these, 300,000 senior citizens have hip fracture every year. And out of 300,000 hip fractures, about 40,000 senior citizens die every year. So this is an extremely important subject, and we need to take steps to prevent falls in our life and take all these steps that, I'll talk some eventually. What are the causes of falls in senior citizens? The biggest cause is muscular weakness and loss of balance as we get older. So I will talk about some exercises to improve the muscle strength as well as balance. Other causes are a lot of medications that senior citizens take, especially senior citizens who take more than 5 medications. Their fall risk becomes much, much higher. Over-the-counter medications such as sleeping pills, melatonin, NyQuil, what they do is while you are sleeping, they cause some degree of confusion. And when you get up middle of the night, you'll fall. So we should not take any over-the-counter medications till we make sure that it does not increase your fall risk. Tranquilizers. We all have some anxiety, and we possibly take some anti-anxiety tranquilizers, and they will increase the fall risk also. Muscle relaxers cause confusion. The biggest problem is with blood pressure medicines and diuretics. Diuretics are medicines that increase the urine output. So when you take blood pressure medicines and we take diuretics, you develop what we call as orthostatic hypotension. What that means is if you're lying down and your blood pressure is 120, but when you stand up and check your blood pressure, it might be 80, which means your blood pressure drops more than 20 points when you change position from lying down to standing position or from lying down to sitting position. If your blood pressure falls more than 20 points, doctors will tell you that you have orthostatic hypotension and your risk of fall is extremely high. So we need to take steps to prevent that also. Some senior citizens have diabetes and they will have numbness of the feet or diabetic neuropathy, and that also makes you fall. Dementia, as we get older, we develop some dementia, and that increases the risk also. Not drinking enough fluids. We lose 500 cc of water from the skin every day. We don't see it. It's called insensible water loss. It just evaporates from the skin and amounts to 500 cc of water every day. We lose 500 cc of water through the breathing, that every time we breathe out, there is some water that goes out, and it amounts to 500 cc every day. Let's say we all have a urine output of 500. So 500 from the skin, 500 from the lungs, and 500 from the urine. We lose 1500 cc of water every day. And if you add to that exercise, you will lose more. And if you add to that hot weather, like in Tampa, Florida, where I live, summer temperature is 95. The moment you go out, in 1 hour, you lose 500 cc of water from the skin. So if you're losing 1500 cc to 2000 cc of water every day, we have to replace that plus more. And if you don't, your blood pressure will fall and you will have a tendency to fall. So it's very important when you exercise or when you go out for a walk to carry a bottle of water with you, to drink water before, during, and after the exercise, not just after the exercise. You must start drinking water before the exercise. Keep drinking every 15 minutes a glass of water, and keep drinking water even after the exercise, because you have to replace at least 2000 cc of water that you lose every day from the various things I talk about. There are other small things that in our life, we need to have a lot of night lights in the house. You don't want to get up in your bedroom, go to the bathroom without any light, because that will make you fall. So we must have enough night lights in the house. I have 2 grandchildren and my son has a dog. So when they come over, there is so much clutter, toys on my floor, that we have learned to look down every time we walk. Otherwise, you will trip the dog leash, or the toys of the children. So it is very important to have no clutter in the house and develop a habit of looking down more often when you walk. Loose rugs in the house, make sure they have something sticking on the back of the rug, so it is stuck to the floor and doesn't slip when you walk on them. It's very important to carry your cell phone with you at all times. I know one instance where husband was upstairs and the wife went to the basement, and the last step she fell down and she could not call for help. And she was there for a couple of hours till the husband found out, oh, where is my wife? Very important to have cell phone with you at all times. And I know my Apple cell phone has a 911 call facility. I can call 911 or call somebody. So very important to use that feature to call 911 if you fall. Regular eye exam is very important to get a regular eye exam. So if your vision is failing and that makes you fall, you can take care of that situation. Also, very important to have non-skid rugs in the shower floor. A lot of floors can become slippery after a while. So please have some non-skid rugs on the floor in the bathrooms so you don't slip and fall. Also start putting handbars in the commode room and in the shower room so you can hold on to something and don't fall. While you're walking in the house and you are using slippers, always buy non-skid slippers so you don't fall. If you have vertigo, which is dizziness, make sure you see an ENT doctor. And very important, when we go up and down the steps, we must have railings on both sides of the steps. I make sure that when I go out with my wife and always walk behind her, always make sure that she's holding on to the railing, and I also hold on to the railing on both sides. Otherwise, senior citizens will fall going down mostly, not so much going up, but that can be very dangerous. So we must install railings if you have steps. I have a single floor house. We don't have steps, but if you have steps in the house, very important to have railings on both sides of the legs. Any questions so far?